House come to order. Mr. Clerk.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, so we have adopted the very large uncontested calendar block, so there were 30 objections. We'll just move them in numeric order. So first up, we come to page 5. There was an objection for item one, number 8H. That item is now before you. It's available to the public and to the body here.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 65, noes 32.
Ayes 65, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 13, an objection was raised to item 50, number 1H, which is now before the body.
Delegate from Scott County, Delegate Kilgore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Just briefly speaking to the amendment, Mr. Speaker, we're about to spend $2.5 million to create a permanent taxpayer-funded litigation unit whose primary purpose is to sue the federal government. Let's call it what it is. It's not about protecting Virginians from some specific unlawful action. This is about institutionalizing political warfare. We have an attorney general. We have a full staff over there. They can sue the federal government just like the past attorney general did without building a brand new bureaucracy to do it. At the time when families are stretched thin, when we debate every dollar for public schools, public safety, tax relief, I think this is a wrong way to go, carving out millions for a standing Sue Washington office. Mr. Speaker, that's mission creep. If there's a real constitutional injury to Virginia, let's bring it on the floor. We can debate it, but we do not need to ask our taxpayers to fund a political war room. I would ask that we vote no on this matter. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Same page, new item 50, number 2H is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Same page, new item number 50, number 3H now before you.
Delegate from Rockingham, Delegate Wilt.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the budget amendment.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House. Operation Ceasefire has been called an unqualified success, and the numbers back it up. According to analysis from the VCU Wilder School, ceasefire localities were credited with a significant portion of the Commonwealth's drop in violent crime between 2022 and 2024. Compared to 2022, there was a 33.5% reduction in homicides across Virginia for 2023, 2024. 64% of those decreases is represented by ceasefire localities alone. Mr. Speaker, I won't name the localities, but I do want to cite some percentages through multiples. There, one locality, the crime's down 20%, another 44.5%, another 55%, another 14%, another 40%, 11%, 62%, Mr. Speaker. These localities also represent 40% of the reduction in overall violent crime during that same period. And these results are even more striking when you consider that ceasefire localities represent only 18% of Virginia's total population. In communities where it has been implemented, shootings are down and lives have been saved. Public safety is not the place to experiment with cuts. If something is working and if it's preventing funerals and protecting neighborhoods, the last thing we should do is pull the plug. This is targeted, evidence-based violence protection and reduction. It's smarter than reacting after the fact, and it's far less costly than the price of crimes. Let's not reverse the course on something that is saving lives. I encourage a no vote on this amendment.
Delegate from Newport News, Delegate Price.
Speaking to the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
The delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, I'm willing to give credit where credit is due, and our previous Attorney General can take credit for this particular item. This program, though named for a comprehensive, previously successful gun violence prevention program that sought to address prevention, intervention, enforcement, and reentry, was never fully baked. And leaving the other side of the aisle's funny math aside, this particular item was in the OAG's office, Mr. Speaker, and that is when Virginia's previous leadership turned this particular item into one of his slush funds for egocentric and ineffective TV commercials and billboards to further his own personal failed ambitions at a time when communities like mine needed every cent to be sent to their communities. The money from this has been repurposed for the OAG to have positions that work in communities that have actually been affected by gun violence and youth violence, and is focused on the health, mental health, economic, workforce development, and social services aspects of evidence-based crime prevention and community empowerment. And that's why I ask that you vote yes on item 50, number 3H.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Excuse me. Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Turning to page 14 of the committee amendments, we come to item 54, number 1H, which is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 63, noes 33.
Ayes 63, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Page 15, we come to item number 60, number 1H, which now is before the body.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 22, item 77, number 4H, is now before the body.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 33, we come to item 102, number 6H, which is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 60 of the committee amendments, we come to item 125, number 1H, which is now before you.
Delegate from Scott County, Delegate Kilgore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I just wanted to highlight this one and commend the chairman for putting this in the budget, and the staff and members of the House Appropriations Committee giving the one-time flexible funding to our school divisions of $400 million. And I just wanted to say this is a good one to vote for. Thank you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? I'm assuming no rebuttal. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, noes 1.
Ayes 95, noes 1. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 102, we come to item 243, number 1H, before you now.
Delegate from Virginia Beach, Delegate Tater.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the budget amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, families are struggling with skyrocketing college costs, and Governor Youngkin did something about that in his introduced budget. He capped increases by 2.5% per year, or the rate of inflation, whichever is less. This amendment removes that cap and lets colleges run up their fees as high as they want. I don't understand how removing a tuition cap makes life more affordable for all Virginians, and this is something our family knows a lot about, as we have paid for 4 college tuitions. And it was challenging. For all working families struggling to pay tuition, I urge a no vote. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 63, noes 33.
Ayes 63, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 111, item before you next is item 278, number 3H.
Delegate from Scott County, Delegate Kilgore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Another one that I thought was a good addition by the Appropriations Committee, and I would encourage a yes vote.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 92, noes 5.
Ayes 92, noes 5. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 119 of the committee amendments, item 290, number 1H, is now before the body.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 144, page 144 of the committee amendments, objection was raised to item 328, number 1H, which is before you now.
Delegate from Scott County, Delegate Kilgore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This is another good example of how we can all work together and fund our state share of SNAP benefits should we need to. Hopefully, with the pleasure of the House to vote for this amendment. Thank you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 91, noes 5.
Ayes 91, noes 5. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 151 of the committee amendments, we come to item 352, number 1H, which is now before you.
Delegate from Richmond County, Delegate Kent.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I'd like to speak to the budget amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you. The negative effects of prevailing wage are not new, and they are certainly well known. And this amendment does not change what is known to be the negative effects and the burdens. This amendment will increase project cost, reduce competition, create administrative red tape and burdens. Shuffling cost will not make life more affordable, and neither will raising cost of public work projects. I would ask that we keep more money in taxpayers' pockets and not limit competition and opportunity. I ask that we vote no.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, ayes 63, noes 33.
Ayes 63, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Turning to page 152, item before you next is 352, number 3H.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 66, noes 31.
Ayes 66, noes 31. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 155 of the committee amendments, an objection was raised to item 359, number 1H, which is now before you.
Delegate from Rockingham, Delegate Runyon.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I was speaking to the amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, imagine someone dipping into your paycheck and taking as much money as they want with no upper limit. That's exactly what this amendment creates, a tax on every paycheck in Virginia that voters can never vote against. A new deduction for paycheck with no limits that you can't stop by voting. That's wrong, Mr. Speaker. We need bigger, not smaller paychecks. I urge a no vote.
The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Sewell.
Speaking to the amendment, Mr. Speaker.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The comments from the delegate are factually incorrect on the program that's being established by House Bill 1207. And in fact, 84% of Virginians support the establishment of a paid family medical leave program to ensure hardworking Virginians who need to care for a loved one, welcome a new baby, or recover from an illness or injury have the ability to do so without losing a roof over their head, food on their table, or a place to work. Mr. Speaker, that means Democrats, Republicans, and independents and the like all support this establishment of this program. This budget amendment begins the process of honoring that overwhelming consensus without taking a dollar from the general fund. And this program is self-funded and self-sustained, And, as we know, it's proven policy. Mr. Speaker, it's good for workers, it's good for Virginia families, and it's good for Virginia businesses. And with that, I ask that all vote yes on this amendment.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Going ahead, committee amendments to page 163, we come to item 369, number 1H, which is before you.
The delegate from Scott County, Delegate Kilgore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Not going to say what I've been saying. Almost had me there. Mr. Speaker, I've haven't had anyone yet to explain me a way on this way I can understand it, because I think Reggie is going to add new fees to power bills. It's not going to reduce power consumption or lower the cost of producing power or create any new generation, but it will add a new fee to your bill. How does that make life more affordable for our Virginians? Mr. Speaker, the math isn't mathing here for me. I urge a vote to lower bills. I urge a no vote.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk, close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Moving ahead to page 183. Page 183, we come to item 399, number 2H, which was objected to and is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 187 of the committee amendments, an objection was raised to item 419, number 1H, which is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
And then on that same page, objection was raised to item number 419, number 2H, which is before you now.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Going ahead 2 pages to page 189 of the committee amendments, an objection was raised to item 420, number 3H.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 198, objection was raised to item 470, number 1H, which is before you now.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 65, noes 32.
Ayes 65, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page, which one? 199, item 471, number 2H is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Same page, new item, item 471, number 3H. Objection was raised to that and is now before the body.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 200 of the committee amendments, the objection was raised to item 471, number 4H, which is now before you.
Delegate from Henry County, Delegate Phillips.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Mr. Speaker, it's not often I stand on the floor at all, but even more rare that I stand to agree with many of my friends on the other side of the aisle across the Commonwealth. Local officials, including many Democrat officials all over Virginia, are begging us to stop this. No local government is asking for this, and the way it is structured, it has the distinct possibility to bankrupt our school systems and some of our local governments. Local taxes will skyrocket to pay for this. Some places could see as much as 30 cents or more added or increased in their property taxes, which ultimately just drives up the cost of everyone's monthly mortgage and makes it even more expensive. That means making housing less affordable when localities are forced to raise their property taxes to pay for this new mandate. That's not affordability, so I ask my colleagues to vote no. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Tran.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you. Public sector collective bargaining will allow our teachers, our firefighters, our home care workers, and others who are providing critical services to our vulnerable constituents to be able to have a seat at the table in our workplaces. Collective bargaining is about improving working conditions for our hardworking public sector employees. It's about improving workforce retention, and it's also about improving the services that we provide to our constituents and communities. The funds in the budget allow us to begin implementation of public sector collective bargaining in Virginia, and I urge all members to vote for this amendment.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 201, item 471, number 5H was objected to. It is now before you.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Oh, you didn't.
Sorry.
The delegate from Scott County, Delegate Kilgore.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I really like that we're putting $200 million back in a contingency fund. That's like a savings account, so I really would encourage a yes vote on this particular item.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, noes 2.
Ayes 95, noes 2. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 206 of the committee-approved amendments to House Bill 30, we come to item 491, number 1H, which is before you now.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to?
Mr. Speaker.
Oh,
You didn't.
delegate from Lunenburg.
Thank you, Mr.
Delegate
Speaker.
Wright.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I appreciate the opportunity to rise and speak against 491, number 1H. I've always been opposed to legalization of marijuana, so I would continue my opposition to the new authority and commission that's being formed. My constituents have told me what they think of it. They don't like the fact that the locality does not have the right to opt out. That was in there at one time, but it's been taken out. So it's being shoved down the locality's throats. I come from an area that's got a lot of small towns. We're struggling to keep businesses afloat and keep crime at a minimum and taxes low and so forth. This marijuana legalization is not going to do a thing to help our area. I get complaints all the time about people driving high on marijuana, about the smell that you can't even sit out in the yard without smelling it wafting across your yard, disturbing your time of enjoyment. What kind of a message are we sending to our young people? We gave up on the war on drugs. We ran up to the white flag on that, and now we're going to the very opposite extreme and saying it's legal. And we're even having what we describe as impact licenses, which will give preference to people that were convicted of marijuana offenses, give them special privileges on getting licenses to sell marijuana. I think we need to be against it. I think we need to be against marijuana and all other drugs. Our country is being flooded by drugs. This is no time for us to expand our opportunity for our young people to get addicted to drugs and make it any worse than it is. So I thank you, Mr. Speaker, and I would encourage everyone to vote against this. Thank you very much.
Shall the committee member be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
On page 214, we come to item C-18, number 1H.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 68, noes 29.
Ayes 68, noes 29. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Over on page 230, but ultimately we come to item 4-5.01, number 1H, which that item is objected to and is now before you.
Delegate from Roanoke, Roanoke County, Delegate McNamara.
Pardon, Mr. Speaker, I jumped the gun.
Jump the gun. Shall the committee member be agreed to? He's so anxious. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
And now on page 235 of the committee amendments, the last item to which there was an objection is item 4-14, number 2H.
The delegate from Roanoke County, Delegate McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. You know, we've had bills in the past where we've talked about eliminating tax on overtime, tax on tips, and we hear year after year that it's going to cause confusion for the taxpayers from the other side of the aisle because it is taxed at the federal level. If we did not tax it, it would cause a problem. Well, Mr. Speaker, now at the federal level, they have made progress and they've made the change, and they do not have tax on tips in certain situations, nor do they have tax on overtime in certain situations. And now it's time for us to do that as well. That's what makes life more affordable to our people. No tax on tips, no tax on overtime makes a huge difference for working families. Real relief they'd see in their paychecks. If you really want to make life more affordable, please vote no on this amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 32.
Ayes 64, noes 32. The committee amendment is agreed to.
All right, Mr. Speaker, members of the House, that is, we've passed the large block. We've dispensed with 30 individual amendments, all of which have been voted on. And so now we come to the 4 floor amendments that were not in conflict with any of the aforementioned dispensed with items. So item 109, number 1H, there is a floor amendment by Delegate McNamara related to portfolio standard deficiency payments. That amendment is available to members here and to the public at large.
Delegate from Fairfax.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the floor amendment be passed by.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon moves that the floor amendment be passed by. Is that a recorded vote?
Mr. Speaker.
The delegate from Roanoke, a delegate from Roanoke County, Delegate McNamara. I think we get 2 sides per.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Let me speak just real quickly to this floor amendment. What this floor amendment is basically a bill that was put in during the General Assembly session that stops deficiency payments. So when the utilities do not meet their targets that are sometimes artificially inflated or not achievable, they do not have to make those payments. Now, that bill did not have a chance to get heard. We, I guess, ran out of time. But I did want to give us an opportunity because we talk about making life more affordable. We talk about lowering energy costs. I know you are all getting emails, maybe even a phone call here and there from utility customers. This will drop about 7% from a Dominion Energy bill right off the bat. So, Mr. Speaker, we don't want to weaken reliability of our systems, but we also don't want to, and we don't want to say we hate clean energy. We don't. I love clean energy. But what we don't want to do is have our ratepayers paying for policy decisions that we put in place that are unattainable. I ask a vote of yes. Excuse me. I would ask us to vote. Mr. Speaker, if I could just clarify, I really wanted the majority of the people to do what I asked. So that was my request. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the motion to pass by item number 109, number 1H, be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no? All right, it's a lukewarm ayes and nays. Let's throw it on the board, y'all. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The floor amendment fails.
That's fine. Mr. Speaker, a floor amendment.
The motion to pass by passes.
Passes, right.
McNamara got me.
Delegate Weber, has offered an amendment to item 3-5.24, number 1H, adjustment and modifications to tax collections. That amendment by Delegate Weber is before the body, available to the public. It is here now.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Mr. Speaker, I move the amendment be passed by.
Delegate from Fairfax moves the amendment be passed by. All those in favor say aye.
Mr. Speaker.
Delegate from Fauquier County, Delegate Weber.
Speaking to the motion to pass by.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the tax exemption for data centers has not truly been revisited, it's been extended, aside from the environmental modifications proposed by the gentleman from Fairfax, Delegate Sullivan. The purpose of this budget amendment is not punitive, it's not reactionary, it's to begin a serious and overdue conversation about the effectiveness and structure of this exemption. There is no question that the exemption has helped create a tremendous boom in a particular industry. Northern Virginia has become a global hub for data storage and digital infrastructure. That growth has been real. The investment has been significant, but so too has the concentration. The economic benefits, the direct fiscal gains, the local tax revenues, the ancillary development have largely accrued to one region of the Commonwealth. Meanwhile, the infrastructure burdens, the generation demands, and the ratepayer pressures extend statewide. Mr. Speaker, if the Commonwealth is going to continue to incentivize this industry at scale, then we should at least examine whether the returns are being distributed equitably across Virginia. This amendment simply seeks to open that discussion. Furthermore, Mr. Speaker, the revenue generated from a recalibration of this exemption could be directed towards pressing statewide concerns, particularly energy affordability. If we are serious about protecting the ratepayers, then one responsible use of additional revenue would be to offset carbon compliance costs that are currently passed along to Virginia families in their monthly power bills. That is not a partisan statement. That is a pocketbook issue. In closing, Mr. Speaker, I'm realistic about the likely fate of this amendment, but it was not filed merely to win a vote. It was filed to ask a question. Are our incentives aligned with our priorities? Are the benefits reaching the entire Commonwealth? And is it time to evaluate whether the structure we created years ago still serves Virginia as it should today? Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the motion to pass by be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed, no? Clerk will, ayes and nays sounds shaky, but we'll get there. A little bit more enthusiasm. Let's go. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 73, noes 22.
Ayes 73, noes 22. The motion to pass by is agreed to.
Mr. Speaker, continuing with the amendments, new amendment offered by Delegate McNamara item 4-14, number 1H, regarding car tax relief.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the amendment be passed by.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon moves that the amendment be passed by. The delegate from Roanoke County, Delegate McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the amendment.
Delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Car tax, car tax, car tax. All we hear is car tax. We're going to eliminate the car tax. It goes back to this body 20 years ago. We made a promise to the public that we were going to eliminate the car tax. We made some progress, and then we stopped. This bill, this amendment, will start the process of eliminating car tax in a fiscally responsible manner. It does not put our budget out of balance. It has identified funding sources. The amendment is simple. It eliminates a tax on the first $5,000 of a vehicle's value and reimburses the localities dollar for dollar, so the localities are kept whole. What does that mean? That is real savings. So if we go around the state, let's say, first of all, let's say we have a couple cars, in a family. In Bristol, that's about $260 back. In Virginia Beach, it's about $370 back. Fairfax County, $450 back. This is not theoretical, Mr. Speaker. That's groceries, that's gas, that's a utility bill. It's not a full repeal yet, but it starts us on the road. This body could see no more than to pass a study, which the body down the hall didn't even think was worthy to even study it. This gives us an opportunity to do what we said we were going to do what our governor said she would do in the campaign mode. And I ask you to approve the amendment. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, and vote no on the motion to pass by. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the motion to pass by be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. Madam Clerk, it sounds like we have an ayes and nays. Let's go on a recorded vote. We'll close the row.
Ayes 62, noes 33.
Ayes 62, noes 33. The motion to pass by the floor amendment is agreed to.
And the last floor amendment is offered again by Delegate McNamara. This one relates to item 4-14, number 2H, regarding the 1% local sales tax on food.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Simon.
Mr. Speaker, I move the amendment be passed by.
Delegate from Fairfax moves the amendment be passed by. All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no.
Mr. Speaker.
The delegate from Roanoke County, Delegate McNamara.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Speaking to the amendment, or the motion to pass by.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. We know families are hurting. We know every family has to buy food. And we can't control federal policy in this chamber, but we can control what Virginia taxes. Right now, we still collect 1% tax on groceries. This amendment eliminates it. It also keeps the locality whole. It keeps our budget balanced. There's no shell game. There's no shifting the burden. For a typical middle-class family of four, it's about $150 a year. Again, not symbolic, real money. I encourage us to Virginia is one of about less than a dozen states that still tax groceries. I'm not proud of it. I know you all are not proud of it. Let's go ahead and make that step right now. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
Shall the motion to pass by be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The ayes and nays have been called for, finally. Madam Clerk, let's go up on the board. Clerk will close the row.
Ayes 64, noes 33.
Ayes 64, noes 33. The motion to pass by has been agreed to.
Mr. Speaker, that takes care of all of the amendments that have been objected to, and the floor amendments have been dispensed with as well.
Delegate from Prince William, Delegate Torian.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move to dispense with the third constitutional reading of House Bill 30.
Delegate from Prince William moves that we dispense with the constitutional reading of House Bill 30. Clerk will open the roll. Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, no 0.
Ayes 95, no 0. The motion is agreed to. The delegate for Prince William, Delegate Torrey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move the passage of House Bill 30.
Shall the bill pass?
Mr. Speaker.
Oh, the delegate from Roanoke, Delegate McNamara.
Thank you. We're going to get it all done in one day here with
okay.
me speaking to the chamber. So anyhow, let's talk about this bill just real quickly. Where did we go from this bill, from Governor Youngkin, to these amendments? I'll tell you where we went. We went an additional $1.2 billion in expenditures. $1.2 billion, that's with the B. That's a lot of money. We have 283 pages of mostly additional programs. The other side of the aisle and our esteemed chair of Appropriations said there's no new taxes, and we're very proud of it. I'm very proud that there are no new taxes, but I'd be even prouder if there was some tax relief, because we're continuing to grow our government faster than our paychecks at home are growing. And so we have 283 pages of added programs and expenditures. We have an extra $1.2 billion. We didn't raise any taxes, but we rejoined the Greenhouse Gas Initiative, which will cost us about $500 million, $500 million a year in added fees on our electric bills. We rejected our floor amendment to stop taxing taxpayers from funding utility penalty payments when they can't meet some of the unrealistic policy objectives we have. That's not a tax, Mr. Speaker, but that is money that is going to be added to electric bills that have to be paid. We created a social program that even the Commonwealth of Virginia suggests it will cost somewhere in the area of $2.1 billion and require over 300 people to administer. That's not a tax, Mr. Speaker, but that is 1% out of the paychecks, out of everybody's paychecks. It also could be another 1% off out of most employers, the employer side as well. So no, not a tax, not funded by the general fund. In fact, I heard that it is a self-funded program. Well, Mr. Speaker, self-funded by the taxpayers. You know, the exact same people. It's just the only difference is it's not actually coming to Commonwealth of Virginia, although it really is coming to the Commonwealth of Virginia for the 300 people to administer the program. So, Mr. Speaker, with all due respect, we could say this budget has no new taxes, but boy, it does make it way, way more affordable for Virginians. It also makes it more affordable for our local governments to run and operate their local governments. We have kicked the can down the road and abdicated our responsibility from a school funding perspective, and instead, no, localities, go ahead and raise the extra 1% on your real estate tax or your retail sales and use tax, and use that to build your schools, because we're not going to help. Mr. Speaker, we've got to slow this train down. We have to really pretend like we want to make life more affordable. We've got to do it. We're not doing it with this budget. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.
The delegate from Prince William, Delegate Torrey.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, speaking to House Bill 30.
The delegate has the floor.
You're right. We went from this to this. And let me say something, Mr. Speaker. Oftentimes in this chamber, people talk about Democrats raising taxes. But let me share something with you. Back in November, the citizens of the Commonwealth spoke. They looked at this House and they said, in the House, you have 51 Democrats in the majority. They trusted us then, and they trusted us, and they trust us now. They trusted us then, back then, to increase our numbers from 51 to 64, believing that we will come to this place. Believing that we will come to this place and get the job done, believing that we would listen to them, and we have listened. Therefore, we have a balanced budget. We are caring for the citizens of this Commonwealth. This budget provides for affordable living here in the Commonwealth, and I tell you, if you're not careful, the number will go higher in 2 years.
Shall the bill pass? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 83, noes 14.
Ayes 83, noes 14. The bill passes. Congratulations, Mr. Chair. It's all downhill from here, Mr. Clerk. Let's go.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, the calendar for today, the rest of the calendar, this Thursday, February 26th. First category, now that the special continuing order on the budget is completed, we come to the Senate bills on third reading uncontested calendar. Senate bills 303, 385, and 462 are all out of the block. Therefore, over to the regular calendar. So the one bill, call it a block if you will, but the bill before you now is Senate Bill 338. It is legislation that seeks to amend and reenact portions of the Code of Virginia related to the Consumer Data Protection Act, data controller responsibilities, precise geolocation data. Legislation Report Committee on Communications, Technology, and Innovation with an amendment.
Delegate from Chesapeake, Delegate Hayes.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the committee amendment.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, the purpose for this is to limit the collection of personal data of what is adequate, relevant, and reasonably necessary for the purposes of such data is processed here in the Commonwealth. Also, Mr. Speaker, I'll just remind us that the bill is similar to Delegate Maldonado's bill that came through the House and passed 84-13. I ask that we support the bill.
That's it. Shall the bills pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 96, no 0.
Ayes 96, no 0. The bill passes.
Mr. Speaker, that took care of that category. So now I move over to Senate bills on third reading, regular calendar. 9 bills in this category, beginning on page 3, if you're following that way. First bill before you is Senate Bill 10. Senate Bill 10, which is legislation to amend and reenact sections of the Code of Virginia related to employment prohibition exceptions. Apprenticeships, children 16 years of age or older. Legislation Report Committee on Labor and Commerce with an amendment, nature as substitute.
Delegate from Roanoke, Delegate Rasul.
Mr. Speaker, move the committee substitute.
Shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The committee substitute is agreed to. Delegate from Roanoke, Delegate Rasul.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Ladies and gentlemen of the House, Senate Bill 10 now is related to my House Bill 275, which expands apprenticeships for 16 to 17-year-olds. It will be the pleasure of the body to pass the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 96, noes 1.
Ayes 96, noes 1. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 98, now before you, would direct the Secretary of Public Safety and Homeland Security to convene a work group to evaluate existing emergency management needs in the Commonwealth. Report. Legislation Report Committee on Appropriations.
Delegate from Virginia Beach, Delegate Askew.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, speaking to the bill. Senate Bill 98 is a Senate cognate to my HB 169. It directs the Secretary of Public Safety and Homeland Security to convene a targeted work group on Virginia's emergency management needs and funding. I move the passage of the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 97, no 0.
Ayes 97, no 0. The bill passes.
Over on page 3, Senate Bills, third reading regular calendar, we come to Senate Bill 692, legislation to amend and reenact 2 sections of the Code of Virginia relating to the Western Virginia Public Education Consortium, governance, funding, and duties. Legislation Report Committee on Appropriations with an amendment and nature of a substitute.
Delegate from Giles County, Delegate Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the committee substitute.
Shall the committee substitute be agreed to? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed, no. The committee substitute is agreed to. The delegate from Giles County, Delegate Ballard.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Senate Bill 692 is now identical to my House Bill 584, which passed this body 98-0. It updates an outdated code section that deals with the Western Virginia Public Education Consortium. Mr. Speaker, I move passage of the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 97, no 0.
Ayes 97, no 0. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 88 is now before you. It is legislation to amend and reenact section of the Code of Virginia relating to reapportionment, reallocation of population, civil commitment facilities. Legislation reported to the Committee on Privileged Elections, and the chairman of that committee, Delegate Price, has a floor substitute, which is available to members via IHOD and to the public via the Legislative Information System.
Delegate from Newport News, Delegate Price.
Yes, Mr. Speaker. I would ask that we adopt the floor substitute, and speaking to that,
the delegate has the floor.
This includes technical changes from the OAG that just clarifies some of the bill.
He says it's available on. He says it's available. The clerk will report the floor. He already said it's available.
So yes, I move that we would adopt the floor amendment.
Shall the floor substitute be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The floor substitute is agreed to. Delegate for Newport News, Delegate Price.
Thank you. SB 88 is now identical to House Bill 59, which requires persons civilly committed to a DBHDS residential behavioral health facility be counted and relocated for redistricting and reapportionment purposes at their last known address. I move that we would pass the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 94, no 0.
Ayes 94, no 0. The bill passes.
Senate Bill 800 now before you seeks to amend and reenact a portion of the Acts of Assembly of 1964 relating to Winchester Parking Authority Act. Legislation is reported to Committee on County, Cities, and Towns.
Delegate from Winchester, Delegate Wiley.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. This bill amends the Winchester Parking Authority Act to grant the authority the power to sell, lease as a lease or transfer or dispose of any property or interest acquired by it. Quite simply, I move passage of the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 95, no 0.
Ayes 95, no 0. The bill passes.
Top of page 5, Senate Bill 489 is legislation that seeks to amend and reenact portion of the Code of Virginia relating to financial institution and services, virtual currency kiosk operators, license required, penalties. Legislation reported from the Committee on Communications Technology and Innovation with amendments.
Delegate from Chesapeake, Delegate Hayes.
Thank you so much, Mr. Speaker. I move the committee amendments.
Shall the committee amendment be agreed to? All those in favor say aye. All those opposed, no. The committee amendment is agreed to.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, SB 489 with amendments, it simply aligns it with House Bill 665, which was sponsored by Delegate Maldonado, which passed this House 84-13, and it regulates virtual currency kiosks here in the Commonwealth. I ask that we pass the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 86, noes 10.
Ayes 86, noes 10. The bill passes.
Going back to page 1, the printed calendar, picking up the 3 that were moved out of the block to the regular. Page 1, Senate Bill 303 now before you seeks to amend and reenact portion of the Acts of Assembly of 1973, which provided a charter for the city of Suffolk relating to council composition, city clerk, department oversight. Legislation reported Committee on County, Cities, and Towns.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Helmer.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, this bill amends the City of Suffolk's charter. I hope we shall pass the bill.
Shall the bill pass? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 96, noes 1.
Ayes 96, noes 1. The bill passes.
Over on page 2 of the printed calendar, bill before you next is Senate Bill 385, which seeks to amend and reenact a portion of the Acts of Assembly of 1937, which provided a charter for the town of Front Royal in Warren County relating to town manager. Legislation, again, was reported on county, cities, and towns.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Helmer.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Mr. Chair, Senate Bill 385 allows the town manager to live outside the town of Front Royal. I hope we will pass the bill.
It's Speaker to you.
Mr.
Shall the
Speaker,
bill pass?
Mr. Speaker.
Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 94, noes 3.
Ayes 94, noes 3. The bill passes.
And lastly, in this category, we come to Senate Bill 462, which is legislation that would repeal a portion of the Acts of Assembly of 1972, which provided a charter for the town of Louisa in Louisa County and provide a new charter in its stead. It was reported again from the Committee on County, Cities, and Towns.
The delegate from Loudoun County, Delegate Helmer. I'm sorry,
Mr.
Delegate
Speaker,
from Fairfax, Delegate
Mr.
Helmer.
Speaker and Mr. Chair of the Rules Committee, this bill, SB 462, simply amends the Charter of Louisa. I hope we shall pass the bill.
Shall the bill pass? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 93, noes 4.
Ayes 93, noes 4. The bill passes.
Mr. Speaker, members of the House, new category, page 6, if we follow along in the printed calendar, is a category of House bills with Senate amendments. There are 5 in this new category, beginning with House Bill 91, which would direct the Department of Juvenile Justice, House Bill 91, which would direct the Department of Juvenile Justice to establish standards relating to limiting room or cell confinement for minors committed to a juvenile correctional facility report. There is not an emergency clause. There is not an emergency clause on the bill, and this legislation originally passed the House January 29th, subsequently passed the Senate with amendments, and those Senate amendments are before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Seabold.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, HB 91 limits cell confinement for juveniles in correctional facilities. The Senate made a few technical changes that updates the language, and I move that we accept those amendments.
Shall the Senate amendment be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 87, noes 8.
Ayes 87, noes 8. The Senate amendments are adopted.
Over on page 7, we come to House Bill 632, which relates to a kinship foster care barrier crime waiver. Legislation originally passed the House, subsequently passed the Senate with a substitute, which is now before you.
Delegate from Albemarle, Delegate Carlson.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. House Bill 632, as a reminder, created a barrier crime waiver process for kinship foster care and passed unanimously. The substitute adds a reporting requirement, fixes an issue to ensure we're in compliance with federal law, and fixes a grammatical error. And so as tough as it is to say, I think it's a better bill. I support the changes, and I move that the House agree to the Senate substitute.
Shall the Senate substitute be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 96, noes 1.
Ayes 96, noes 1. The Senate substitute is adopted.
House Bill 1045, now before you, would allow the Board of Directors of the Virginia Alcoholic Beverage Control Authority to issue an annual mixed beverage performing arts facility license to certain persons operating food concessions at any performing arts facility in the city of Richmond. Legislation originally passed the House, has passed the Senate with an amendment, which is now before you.
Delegate from Richmond City, Delegate Carr.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. The Senate provided a clarifying amendment, and I would encourage the House to adopt the Senate amendment.
Shall the Senate amendment be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 94, noes 1.
Ayes 94, noes 1. The Senate amendment is adopted.
And over on page 8, we come to House Bill 1222, which relates to local departments of social services, child abuse and neglect, recorded interviews. Legislation passed the House, subsequently passed the Senate with amendments, which are now before you.
Delegate from Fairfax, Delegate Delaney.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I move the Senate amendment, and I'm happy to explain those.
The delegate has the floor.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. So the Senate amendment simply clarifies that a video recording used in child welfare interviews must include audio as well and not simply video. So it's a rather technical clarification. I hope that we adopt the amendment and pass the bill. I move.
Shall the Senate amendment be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 97, no 0.
Ayes 97, no 0. The Senate amendment is agreed to.
And lastly, in this category, House Bill 1226, which relates to the Department of Motor Vehicles data. Certain institutions of higher education fees. Legislation originally passed the House, passed the Senate with a substitute. That Senate substitute is down before you.
Delegate for Prince William, Delegate Sewell.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I move that the House agree to the Senate substitute. The substitute does not change the intent of the bill. It simply clarifies how the Department of Motor Vehicles will engage with institutions of higher education and provide the requested information gathered for special license plate with authorized consent. Again, I move the adoption of the substitute and passage of the bill.
Shall the Senate substitute be adopted? Clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 97, no 0.
Ayes 97, no 0. The Senate substitute is adopted.
Mr. Speaker, memorial resolutions laid on the Speaker's table. That one has already been dispensed with, and the commending resolutions laid on the Speaker's table also has been dispensed with. Therefore, with no other conference reports brought to the front desk, that completes today's calendar.
Per House Rule 51, the House has returned to the morning hour. Does the clerk have any additional announcements or communication?
No communication, simple announcements on this day 45 of the 60-day session. We have committee meetings this afternoon, and they are as follows. For the Committee on General Laws is meeting a half hour after adjournment of the House, approximately 3:15 or so. They'll be in House Committee Room B on the second floor. Once the full committee meets, 2 of its subcommittees are going to meet thereafter. Subcommittee on Professions, Occupations, and Administrative Process will meet immediately upon adjournment of the full House, and then once that subcommittee is finished, General Laws, Housing, and Consumer Protection Subcommittee will be meeting. Also a half hour after adjournment of the House, the Labor and Commerce Committee will be meeting. They'll be down in the lower level of the General Assembly building, House Committee Room A. Once the full committee is finished with its docket, then its subcommittee number 2 will be meeting. At 4 o'clock, the Public Safety Firearms Subcommittee will be meeting. They'll be in the House North Subcommittee room, 200 over there on the second floor of the General Assembly building. So General Laws, Labor and Commerce, and 1 Public Safety Firearms Subcommittee, and that completes the work for today's legislative business. Looking ahead to tomorrow, Friday, February 27th, the first meeting with the House going in at 11, I believe. So we'll have privileges and elections at 9 o'clock tomorrow. They'll be in House Committee Room C on the second floor of the General Assembly building. Also at 9 o'clock, Committee on County, Cities, and Towns will be meeting. They'll be in House Committee Room B, both those on the second floor, and for whatever reason, I can't read correctly. Public Safety Committee will be meeting before that at 8 o'clock. And they will be in House Committee Room A on the lower level. So just the 3 typical Friday committees, no subcommittees that I'm aware of. And then finally, the 2 caucuses will meet before we go in tomorrow. So the Democratic caucus will meet at 10:30 tomorrow, and the Republican caucus will meet at 10:15. So Democratic caucus will be at House Room 1, Republicans at House Room 2. We'll update the meeting schedule accordingly. That completes all the announcements I have.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Mr. Speaker, I move that when the House adjourns today, it adjourn to reconvene tomorrow at 11 a.m.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring moves that when the House adjourns today, it adjourn to reconvene tomorrow at 11 a.m. As many in favor of the motion say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. The Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring.
Mr. Speaker, I move that the House do now adjourn.
Delegate from Alexandria, Delegate Herring moves that the House do now adjourn. As many in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The motion is agreed to. The House turns adjourned until tomorrow at 11 a.m.